appearances. And I understand that their foundation account number is 1524. Let's give. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2023-24 FAMU cheerleaders. All right, now shake your stuff at Rattlers. All right. You got one more? No? Let's hear it for our FAMU Rattler cheerleaders. So that you can feel welcome, I am yet again deliciously proud to introduce our leader, the president of the Rattler Boosters. Everybody, give a round of applause for Mr. Selvin Cobb.
Hello, fellow Rattlers. Okay, I am to give you a hearty welcome because I really want to welcome you because you're here. This, we have two things that we want to accomplish during this event. One is we want to show our student athletes how much we love them, how much we care for them, how much we appreciate them. They have chosen to come to our university, Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, and wear the orange and green, and to represent us on the diamonds in the field. So, and also in all that they do here at the university. So at this time, I'm going to ask you all to stand, turn to the rear of the room. This is where our students know now how much you care for them and appreciate what they're doing for us. Please stand up and give them a huge round of applause. Come on, you can do better than that. Come on. Thank you. Thank you. We have set out for you today a couple things. This is being live streamed. So for those folk that are watching us live stream online, we'd like to welcome you. We'd like to also inform you that we will accept any donations that you care to give us. You can go to the FAMU rattlerboosters.com website and you can get directions from there as to how you can contribute to our athletic program. Here this evening, in the next hour or so, we have some artwork that's back in the back that you can bid on. All the proceeds will come to Rattler Boosters to help our student athletes. To my right, there is a vendor, Kenny T's. Feel free to go back and buy some paraphernalia from them. And we also want to welcome our sponsors. One of our major sponsors is the McDonald Corporation, and you'll be hearing some more about that later on. So for right now, we'd just like for you to sit back, enjoy the program, and continue to show your love for our student athletes. Thank you kindly for coming.
Let's hear it for our great leader. Now, they're going to share with you these membership applications for you to join the Rattler Boosters. Now, I know there are those of you who are saying, yeah, I paid $50 for the ticket. Well, that's your tithe. This your free will offering. Because those young people that you just saluted in the back, if we want to ensure that they have the scholarships and the equipment and the facilities that they need, I believe everything that FAMU athletics needs, we have right here, right now. Everything we need. New equipment, furnishings, the expansion of our stadium, everything we need, we got right here in this room. It's in your pocket, though. And I want y'all to dig deep and give joy. Don't look sad. And give joyfully. The Bible says what? God loves a cheerful giver. Ain't that right, Rattlers? So y'all give yourselves a round of applause for that, which you will do above and beyond your ticket price to support our student athletes. And the church said, amen. Before we have our invocation and we break bread to dine, I want to acknowledge my elected colleagues who are in the building. First, I want to acknowledge a good friend, someone everybody in this room should know, particularly if you have bad children. Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Barbara Hobbs is here. You can't call her direct now because you can't put your finger on the scale, but if you should see her in church and tell her about little Johnny, she might be merciful. Also, we have Commissioner Carolyn Cummings, who is the newly elected chair of Blueprint. And we have our Rattler sister, Commissioner Diane Williams Cox, our Mayor Pro Tem. And we have my predecessor. I got to set him up right, y'all, because he was the first African-American male to be elected to the Leon. As I stand squarely on the shoulders of a giant, Mr. Curtis Richardson, Commissioner for the city of Tallahassee. We also have with us the Chief of Police, Chief Lawrence Revel, and he's joined by his entire administrative team. Then finally, we have my best friend, the chair of the Leon County Matter. When the university was faced with a dilemma of having to redo Bragg Stadium, they came to our electeds, most specifically, they came to Nick Maddox, and he was joined by his colleagues, and if I might use a football metaphor, he was able to run the ball into the end zone so that we could have the $10 million that we needed to repair Bragg Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, my best friend and the chair of the Leon County Commission, Chair Nick Maddox. Are there any other electeds that I have neglected to recognize? Oh, I'm sorry. And hello, I'm Darrell Jones. And I'm a member of the Leon County School Board, representing all of our Southside schools that sit in the shadow of this great university. I am because of you. Thank you so much. And now we will prepare to bless the food. But before we do so, allow me to introduce our great leader. Isn't she lovely? Stevie Wonder said. Our Vice President and Director of Athletics, Miss Tiffany Sykes. And now we prepare our hearts and minds to have the invocation and blessing of the food by one of our FAMU's greatest supporters, a man who stood on that sideline for now greater than 3 decades to serve our student athletes. He is the one and only pastor of the Mount Sinai AME Church and a great man, the Reverend Dr. Edward Scott.
Thank you, Darrell. Any Rattlers in the house? Any Rattlers in the house? Well, we know that God is with us in a mighty way. And so right now, I want to ask everybody to bow their heads. Heavenly Father, God, we come this afternoon to say thank you. God, we asking first, that you be with families and friends in Duval County, in Jacksonville, that have taken upon themselves many hurts and pains. But God, we thank you that we can look to the hills right now, God, because we know that our help cometh from you. And God, not only do we look to the hills, but God, we thank you for a university that you placed on the highest of 7 hills that has served us for generations, and God has educated many and served many. God, we thank you for the president, for the administration. God, we thank you for the coaches. We thank you for the members. God, we thank you for the students, our future. God, we thank you for all the alumni and friends. God, because we know that you say that we should love you first and love our neighbors as ourselves. And God, so not only did you give us a university that showed love and charity, but it is a college of love and charity. And God, we also thank you that when the dark clouds gather on the horizon, that we don't have to fear, because you did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And God, we're going to use that power not only in athletics, on the football field, on the track, in the gym, God, on the baseball diamond, but we're going to use that power to make a difference in our communities. That we're going to stand up and support right and not wrong. And we're not going to make wrong right, but right, right. And so, God, we also thank you for the food that we're about to receive, for the nourishment of our bodies. But God, before we say amen, we want to loudly think about all that you've done for us. Loudly, before we say it, think about how far you've brought us. Loudly, think about great people that have served this university. Loudly, we're going to think about those shoulders upon which we stand that represent the orange and the green. And so right now, we're going to say loudly, because we know that you're the rock upon which we stand. I want you to think about loudly, before we say amen, about all the times that he's been through. We want to thank you loudly, Lord, for all that you've done for us, because without you, where would we be? Because you're the Alpha and Omega of everything that we do. And so right now, if there's anybody that God has blessed right now, does anybody know where you've been through and where you've come from? Anybody know what this university has done for you? I want you to loudly say amen.
After that prayer, I feel like singing He's a Battle Axe. He's a battle axe in the... All right, now, don't get me started now. I'll go and tune it. Let's get him again for Reverend Dr. Edward Scott. As more folks come and join us, we're going to give instructions for how we'll dine. Now, so that we don't show any partiality, we have serving stations on both sides of the room. All the folks, if you look dead center, you'll see that receptacle that separates one side from the other. The folks on this side will go to that table, and the folks on this side will go to that serving table. We'll start with row 1, and I'm going on that side, and because I have sugar, I go first. And then on this side, and I'm going to get my to-go plate on this side, on that side. So tables, first row, bone apple tea. You may be served. And then we'll call our remaining tables as the line goes down. Let's hear for craft services and this great meal that they have prepared for us. Our hostess will provide you with additional instruction.
Deacon Jones famously said, "You can never be cut from." Deacon Jones famously said, "You can never be cut from, traded from, or even quit this team," in reference to the band of brothers enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The quote was so apropos that it now resides on the side of the building. It was a day 55 years in the making. Ken Riley began his career with the Cincinnati Bengals in 1969. For the next 15 years, he would control the defensive corner position in stellar fashion. In the words of famed ESPN commentator Chris Berman,
he was soft-spoken and a coach on the field for his teammates, for his fellow defenders, and his fellow receivers. In a 3-year span from 1974 to 1976, Ken picked off 20 passes, 9 in 1976 alone. But often overlooked from the outside, he somehow, even that year, didn't make the Pro Bowl, which is frankly ridiculous.
I was always taught humility, let your work speak for you. And I went unnoticed. There was some times, I led the conference 3 times in interception. My last 2 as a player, retired 8 interceptions. I was 36 years old. Still started all games, but it went unnoticed. But all those things go unnoticed. And until people say, who is this guy, Ken Riley? Why has nobody, said, why is he in the Hall of Fame? I get more of that from other people after they see my stats because they just didn't know because I was. And in Cincinnati, we were not publicized. We were not glorified, so to speak. Paul Brown's philosophy is you go out and that's what I'm paying you to do. And there are a lot of guys that had great careers there but went unnoticed, and I was one of those guys.
That would define not only Ken Riley's career, but his wait to be enshrined as one of the best. When he retired in 1983 with wife Barbara, his kids, and legendary coach Jake Gaither at his side, he was 4th on the all-time interceptions list and owned virtually every record for a defensive back in the Bengals organization. 2023 would be different. After the long wait, the Riley family finally got the call it was waiting on. Unfortunately, Ken would pass in 2020 and not get the opportunity to enjoy his achievement. Still, it was a grand celebration for the ages. The Pro Football Hall of Fame is different. The celebration is one of the most unique in any sport. The current members welcome the new members in a manner unlike any other. But the latest HBCU entry into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, though posthumously, was welcomed with the same open arms. Riley's family, led by his son Ken Riley II and Riley's wife of 51 years, Barbara, filled the gap nicely and represented well for his legacy. The Friday night gold coat ceremony is where current players don their gold Hager jackets. For the players with posthumous honors, their jackets are presented to their families in a neatly crafted shadow box. Saturday morning, it was time for the traditional Hall of Fame parade through downtown Canton. The FAMU contingent showed out big for Riley. Several former football players, mostly from the Riley era, accompanied a float commissioned by FAMU VP AD Tiffany Dawn Sykes. FAMU's Venom and Mrs. Venom and float marshals Greg Coleman and Art Hightower were all present. FAMU's Venom and Mrs. Venom and float marshals Greg Coleman and Art Hightower were all present. Former FAMU players Tony Ezel, Wally Williams, Nate Thurman, Ian Connor, Doug Austin, and Tracy Weldon repped the orange and green in a 3-mile parade through the streets of Canton. Not to be left out of the proceedings, FAMU alum and Hollywood producer Will Packer and his wife Heather took part in the parade in a throwback drop-top convertible as well. Shortly after the parade, it was time to rush to the grand finale, the actual enshrinement ceremony. After an impassioned warm-up from Mrs. Riley, they unveiled the bust of the Rattler. It was his spitting image, set in bronze to last forever. It was then time for Ken Riley II to bring it home with his acceptance speech, and he knocked it out of the park.
I told him I wouldn't visit Caden until he was enshrined. And now I'm here today, and I believe that he and my grandmother are smiling down on us. My father played with the Bengals for 15 years, from 1969 until 83. And even though he never played defense until they drafted him, my father, Ken Riley, ended his career as the number 4 all-time interception leader. Today, 40 years later, he's still tied for number 5. My father was a true professional from start to finish. As a kid, I didn't know what I was watching when he was training on those long, hot summer Florida days. Sometimes we would ride along in the car as he ran on those old country roads. But as a man, I understand that I was seeing the dedication, commitment, and hard work that it takes to be great. The good ones make it look easy. Most people think they're just born with talent, which is true, but what they don't see is the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into making that talent shine. Dad has just been inducted today, but his whole life, he was a Hall of Famer on and off the field. My father was a God-fearing man, always told us to keep God first. He cared about his family, his community, and kids. He was a family man to the bone, and being away from us for months at a time while he played was a giant sacrifice. And then, when his playing days were over, he sacrificed again, this time putting his career second to his family. He had a budding NFL coaching career, but took a job at his alma mater, Florida A&M University. He did that because he loved the school, but also because he thought we would be happier back in Florida than we were in Green Bay, especially my sisters. Once we was at FAMU, he got calls from SMU, Georgia Tech, and others, but he didn't leave. It was important to him that we all finish our education. And thanks to his and my mother's guidance, we all graduated with college degrees. My sister, Kim, she's in the audience. She has a doctorate in pharmacy, and she's been a pharmacist for over 20 years. My younger sister, Kanisha, she has a bachelor's in physical therapy and a master's in public health. Cameron, Chance Connor, Ken KJ Riley III, Caden Riley, his 4 grandsons. I hope that we're making them proud. I want to say a couple of words to my mother, one of the strongest women I know. My dad always used to say that Marion Barbara Candy Moore was the best decision he ever made, and he was right. When he was doing the season, she was mom and dad. She was the rock of our family. And even though she was working as a teacher, she always made sure that we had everything we needed. Mom, I know it's hard to see the fruition of everything you and Dad worked for and him not being here with us today, but all the love that everyone is here is feeling for him, that's for you too. Because of the way you supported him and helped him stay strong for the 51 plus years that you two were married. Finally, I want to say thank you to everyone who's here today to share with this great day with us. Many thanks to the Hall President, John Porter, all the volunteers, all the staff, and all of the voters who made this happen. To the fans, all of the Who Dey Nation, want to give a special shout out, Who Dey, to Bingo Jim and his wife. He's been a great support over the past few years. To my dad's former teammates, a lot of who are here today, Ken Anderson, Isaac Curtis, Lewis Breeden, Reggie Williams, Leap and Lamar Parrish, and some of his peers, Mel Blunt, James Lofton, Coach Forrest Gregg. This guy's always been in support. Also want to thank the Bengals organization, Coach Paul Brown, who gave him that start, Mike Brown, and all of the Brown family, and to everyone who loved the game the way that he did. It's been a long time coming, Dad, but you made it. Thank you.
It bears mentioning that one of his students, one of his student athletes, an All-American kicker and punter, Vaughn Wilson, was on a sole charge to ensure that the great athletic accomplishments of our own Coach Riley when he played in the National Football League were amplified. And it's only appropriate that the video that we saw today was also a production done by him. Let's give Vaughn Wilson, Mega Ace Productions, a round of applause for the great work that he did to ensure that the Ken Riley story was told across this nation such that those who had the right to vote on the ballot knew the Ken Riley story. Let's give him another round of applause. Now, we know that ordinarily the Marching 100 would be here, but you know that they are traveling, but we've got a special video tribute for them as well. Oh, we got some Marching 100 folks here.
the state capital. Please welcome what has not only become known as America's Band. Chapel Hill, you ready for this? It's time. Drum majors, it's your turn. Any questions?
Let's hear it one more time for the family marching 100 in your University of North Carolina marching car here.
You know, North Carolina's never danced that hard before. The Rattlers had to go up there a week early to rehearse with them for that stellar performance. Let's give our Marching 100 in absentia a round of applause. As you continue to dine, I am delighted to welcome to the room the greatest FAMU president of the 21st century. Rattlers, let's do what Rattlers do. Let's stand on our feet and give our leader, Dr. Larry Robinson, a round of applause. Let's hear it from our president. And he's joined by our first lady, Mrs. Larry Robinson. We thank you both. Give them both a round of applause. Thank y'all for coming to share with us. And we'll hear from our president later. Okay. All right. As you continue to dine, we have our very first drawing. Look to your Rattler tickets, pull out your ticket stubs, and the lucky winner is number 122. 122. If you got your ticket, that's you. The ticket number is 122. 122. And you, okay. It's Miss Anita Morrell. Come on down. You're the winner. The price is right. Our second drawing is number 087. 087. That's you. Let's hear it from Mary Blake. Our third drawing, number 135. Yes, ma'am. All right, we have a third winner, Miss Kathy Preston. Renee, where's Colonel? Where's Colonel? I'm fine. As you continue to get your food, we're going to pause for a moment to hear from our great leader, a great man who's a FAMU's one of his most loyal sons, Colonel Ron Joe, who will acknowledge all of our sponsors who made today's event possible. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Ron Joe, retired. Can we get a little bit more round of applause, please?
Got to stay on this. Wait a minute, I got to get on that.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. My job now, if I can get it done efficiently, is to have you help us say thanks to some folks who have been very kind to us in terms of their contributions to the boosters and through the boosters to our athletic program. And first of all, I'd like to highlight Roy Moore and his wife, Jackie. They're two folks who have been very supportive of our athletic programs. When Coach came here, I don't know where Coach is, I can't see his eyes and face, he's here somewhere. Coach decided that what we needed to do was have a better nutrition program for our athletes. He said that as they got into the season, later into the season, they dropped a little weight, and we needed to do something about that. And Roy and Jackie and folks who run Piggly Wigglies decided that they would get in and help. They helped in terms of both dollars. He gave about $4.5 thousand to first help us get it kicked off, and we're talking about fruit and food and snacks. And then he also found that they needed some refrigeration. And so they had to get a refrigerator, and that cost about $8,000, and he threw that in as well so that that could be done and we could move on down the line toward doing that. And you know, since that tuition nutrition program started, the whole win-loss column has gotten better. Coach, where you are, is that true? Absolutely. He's giving me a thumbs up. And so we need to keep doing that. So all we want to do as boosters is to lead you and let us say a tremendous thanks to Roy and to Jackie for their support. You know, one more time before I say that, let's one more time. They have given in the last 10 years or so about $20,000 in cash to our athletic program. And we just need to be thankful to people like this who do everything they can to make it better. Coach, come on up here too, please. And I'd like to say, I hope this joke goes okay. I think the reason the players got so much good weight on them and did so much better was they were eating the chitlins. But if that doesn't work, we'll go to that. Come on up. Let's get a picture, please. Mr. President, can I impose on you? I can? Okay, please, sir, come on up. Let's get everybody's here. No, we got everything except for photographer?
Photographer, he's right here.
Okay, he's right here. Mr. President, why don't you come on, get in there in the middle of those folks? And close in, I'll get over to the side. Okay, good.
I just wanted to see where he got the jacket from.
You want to see where he got the jacket from? All right, y'all, let's give a big round of applause to Roy and Jackie, and let's thank them for what they've done. Let me take this mask off one time. All right, one more. Let's do one more picture. Y'all don't make a lot of noise, you know. You could make more noise than that because this is it's a lot of money. We didn't add it all up, but come on. We want to thank the folks that take care of us. All right, thank you. The next person I want to talk about is there was a lady named Mary Williams, and Mary's not here today, but she came and said that there was a possibility that we could go and talk to the folks down on the corner of Orange Avenue and Monroe, and that they would be prepared to support FAMU. And of course, we're talking about the people down on the corner there who was McDonald's. So we went down and we talked to them and we kicked it off, and they said we would like to be supportive of FAMU and we'd like to do it for some years in the future. We met the father, who was Juan, and the son, who was Rafael Vasquez. And so in the first year, we asked them to help us support this luncheon so that it could be successful. They gave us $10,000. Yeah, let's applaud that. And then in the second year, they came back and they supported us again, and they gave us $12,000. And then we had a third year that we asked them to come and support us in this program, and they gave us $14,000. And that's 3 years. And now here we are again today. Those two are not here with us, the daddy and the son. They have 21 McDonald's that they take care of, both in Tallahassee and just outside, and then in southern Georgia. And so again, we went to them and asked them if they would support us, and they have supported us. So I'd like to have these folks over here come on up and join us. Christian is the gentleman here in the white FAMU shirt. We put him in one today so he could be good. And we're going to get to know each other a lot better. They're very fine. And he brought, let's get the check here. We got a copy made of, just rip it off, I guess. We got a copy made of the check. Come on, Mr. President, y'all over here, Mr. Athletic. Come on, Miss AD, come on. And so what he did was, one more time, he said, we're going to support you. And he gave us another check for $14,000. So if you add that up over 4 years, that's 10,000, it's 12,000, it's 14,000, and it's 14,000, and that's $50,000 in 4 years. And they employ our people from our community and that are Rattlers. So over here are people who work for him now, and every one of them's a Rattler. And the guy with that pretty coat on over there, he runs the McDonald's that's on the corner of, or what is it? Orange and Monroe. And if you ever go by on Thanksgiving Day, it doesn't look like a McDonald's store. It looks like something that belongs to FAMU. And so he has said that we want to continue to stay in touch, and they will continue to support FAMU. And what I'd like to do is let's give a big round of applause to these guys who have given $50,000 in the last 4 years to support Florida A&M University. Thank you. Thank you all very, very, very much. Come on, make a little more noise than that. Be just a little bit more, something like that. All right. Thank you. All right, let's take a picture. Okay. Come on, y'all, close in. All right. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. All right, Mr. Master of Ceremony, I yield back.
Thank you, Colonel Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
To all of our great sponsors.
So where's the guy for McDonald's? Hey, Mr. McDonald. You don't have to have one of the fillet of fish, Redeemer put a fillet of fish on. You know I'm a pescatarian now. I can't eat your burger, but I can eat the fillet of fish done. Extra product and then make it healthy and they add it to there. On the fillet of fish. I mean, so if you have to have a fillet of fish on, let's hear for all of them. And let's hear from Boy and Paul. Y'all didn't know that Boy and Paul was my father, did you? The old folks say if you feed them, they start to look like you. Don't I look like Roy Moore? I'm the outside. I'm one of the yard children. I'm the one Jackie didn't have to press out. Let's hear it for Piggly Wiggly. And what bears mentioning here, as they support our university and our beloved alma mater, they are what we call, both of these businesses and both of these leaders are what we describe as community trustees. Because I can also tell you that they also provide support for our South Side schools. And for that, we are enormously grateful. Just the other day, I called Roy Moore. We want to do something special because we want to increase parental engagement at our South Side schools. We know that if we're going to stem the tide of juvenile crime, we need more parental involvement. We can't spend this problem away. This is not an issue where the solution is found only with government. The solution to juvenile crime is found with parents. So we want to incentivize parent participation at our South Side schools by getting our parents involved in our PTAs. So I called Roy Moore. I said, Roy, we want to serve all of our parents. We want to offer them dinner because we know these working families oftentimes are trying to work hard and feed their families. And so if we can make the PTO meeting a family event where the families are served, that could make the difference and get our parents more involved. When I called him, he didn't even mince words. He said, I'll be happy to provide dinner for all of your South Side schools for their PTAs. Y'all give Roy Moore another round of applause. As we continue with our program, I would like to acknowledge some other leaders who've joined us who constitute the leadership of our beloved alma mater, the best vice president for academic affairs in the entire country. I came to meet her when she was the dean of the College of Ed. She is the wonderful Dr. Allison Watson. The best vice president for student affairs is my classmate. Y'all give him a round of applause, Dr. William Hudson. Huh? Who? Oh, I'm sorry, William Hudson II. Look here, he got his doctorate now. He's not junior anymore. He's Dr. William Hudson II. Then I also saw some great deans here with us, Dr. Valencia Matthews of the College of Arts and, well, it was Arts and Sciences when I was in school. It's Arts and Sciences, Arts and Theater and Human. It's the biggest college on the campus, Dr. Valencia Matthews. Then my college, my other college, the College of Education, Dr. Sarah Price is here. Are there any other deans in the house? We have the new deputy provost. No, what is it? Well, see, that's right. The chief we ain't had that when I was in school. The chief operating officer of Florida A&M University, a true Rattler, Dr. Donald Palm, the executive vice president, right? That's his title? Executive vice president. I'm messing up, y'all. Anybody else who I haven't mentioned? Anybody else important? I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge some dear friends who helped me to graduate. I finished my degree in 3 terms. Ronald Reagan, George Bush's, and Bill Clinton. And I would have never graduated had it not been for Mr. Roland Gaines and Mr. Alton Royal, both who are here, who embodied the notion of student affairs. In education, we talk about in loco parentis. That means in place of the parent. I am grateful for men like Alton Royal and Roland Gaines when I was a student back in 1998, because it was because of their concern for me as an individual that I was able to navigate my college career. And now I stand as an elected member of our community. So thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate you greatly. Also, here's my birthday twin, the executive assistant to the president, Mrs. Cynthia Henry. I see Miss Kim Hankerson. I also saw my classmate, Dr. Shante Friday Stroud. She left. She had to go raise some money. I see the immediate past dean of the College of Agriculture, Dr. Robert Taylor. Let's give him a round of applause. Would all the members of the Rattler Booster Board of Directors please stand that we might acknowledge you for your great work in planning this great event? Let's give all of our Rattler Boosters and their staff a round of applause. Now, without further ado, we do have student leaders who are here present with us, who we'd like to hear from. I believe the King of Orange and Green is here, Mr. Malachi Gibbs, and the Queen of Orange and Green, Miss Kiana McFan, who will now come. Who is that? Oh, that's Miss Fan. I'm sorry. The notes were wrong. Let's hear it from Miss FAMU and Mr. FAMU and the King of Orange and Green. You got that right. Sir.
Greetings, everyone. I am Kendall Naomi Johnson, a fourth-year General Health Science Scholar from Panama City, Florida, and I currently serve as the 117th Miss Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University.
And I am Devin Demetrius Knowles Jr., a fourth-year computer engineering scholar from the Gateway to Mobile, Alabama. And I stand before you as the 24th Mr. Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University.
Greetings, I am Malachi Theodore Rashawn Gibbs, a fourth-year music education scholar hailing from Sebring, Florida, and I have the privilege and honor to serve as the King of Orange and Green.
Devin, Malachi, and myself would like to wish you all an amazing season this year.
It is to my knowledge that we have some champions on this field in every sport. And I know that this year will be just like the last and the years before that.
And to end it all off, can I get 2 claps and a stride? Thank you.
Let's hear it for our champion. Next up, we will hear from our VP and athletic director, the lovely, the talented, the innovative, and creative leader, Miss Tiffany Dawn Sykes.
So much for having me today. Of course, many of you know this is my first kickoff luncheon, so I didn't know what to expect, but wow, this is incredibly impressive. You all look so good in your orange and green, and I look forward to seeing more of it throughout the season. Of course, my protocol has to have me acknowledge my boss, President Larry Robinson, and his wife, Ms. Sharon Robinson. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for entrusting me to lead FAMU athletics. Next, I want to recognize our student athletes. To our football team, make some noise for our football team. The FAMU cheer team. The FAMU cross country team. And our volleyball team is actually in the middle of a match right now. The last time I checked, we were tied 1-1. Oh, we're up 2-1 now. Okay, so we're up 2-1 in the last match of the tournament. So hopefully we'll have an update that we've won by the end of today's program. But again, thank you to the Rattler Boosters organization for hosting this afternoon's event to kick off our fall sports season. Thank you so much to the corporate partners for being here and supporting our student athletes. The dollars that you invest in these student athletes really transforms their education and it transforms their lives. So we are appreciative. So on behalf of our 14 varsity athletics programs, Division I programs plus FAMU cheer, our over 300 student athletes, I just want to let you know that I'm so grateful and I look forward to welcoming you to Bragg Memorial Stadium, to our Lawson facility, to the cross country course when we host the SWAC championship this year. And so I look forward to seeing you again. So thank you so much. So my boss just told me to acknowledge the coaches. I thought he was going to do that, but I'm going to start with my new coaches, okay? So we just announced the hiring of a new head women's bowling coach, Miss Capri Howard. So Capri, can you stand up so everyone can see you? Thanks, Capri. Coach Bridget Gordon, she got a nickname already y'all gave her. What y'all call her? Pressure. So that's Coach Pressure right there, Bridget Gordon, Olympic gold medalist and head coach of women's basketball. Robert McCullum is not a new coach, but he's over here at the table, so I want to acknowledge him, head coach of the men's basketball team. Coach Simmons. Now, you know, we're playing in this MEAC SWAC challenge station, so the executive director brought me up here for a site visit. So I got the game yesterday, and I got the scout report ready for you. But we're going to whoop them on Sunday. I'm going to let you know that. Coach Willie Simmons, head coach of FAMU football. Is Brandy Tatum Frederick here? She's the head coach of our FAMU cheer team. Are there any other coaches here that I can't see? I don't have my glasses on up here. Did I miss anyone? Our director of cross country and track and field, Garfield Ellenwood. I heard you back there, but I can't see you. Where are you, coach? Right here. He asked if I wanted him to come up, so he might want to say something to you. So I'm going to let him have the mic for a second. Come on, Coach Ellenwood. This will also be his first full season. He was announced as our director of track and field in January. And so I need you to get the supporters to get here for the championship. So I need you to convince them to come out and cheer on our cross country team. Can you do that for us?
Yes, I can. We recruited in one of the best classes to FAMU, and I guarantee you, with your support, October 25th, you'll be talking about us at the homecoming game. Guaranteed.
Thanks, Coach. Anything else? Thanks again. I look forward to seeing you all.
Let's hear it for our VP and Athletic Director, Tiffany Dawn Sykes. We're almost to the end of our program. Now, I didn't eat yet, so I don't know how much. Oh, and the football team is up there. If anybody happen to have some tinfoil in their purse, will somebody please fix me a to-go plate, please? Especially for that big one, 69 getting somebody get my plate before 69 gets his plate, please. Tinfoil, Ziploc bags, but y'all get me my food for 69 get his. I'm happy to announce and present to you yet again our leader, our president of Rattler Boosters, Mr. Selvin Cobb, who will now acknowledge our life members, and we will have an introduction of a volleyball team video. Are we going to still play that, Vaughn? The coach isn't here. Vaughn? We're going to still do the video? All right. So what we'll do, we'll hear from Mr. Selvin Cobb and Miss Melody Hadley. We're here to see the volleyball team video, and then we've already heard from Coach Ellenwood, and then we'll hear from our football coach, Coach Simmons, in that order. Let's give another round of applause for our president, Ms. Hadley.
Greetings, I am Kalia Todd, a third-year nursing scholar from Birmingham, Alabama.
Greetings, I am Brooke Watts, a third-year criminal justice scholar from Odenton, Maryland.
Greetings, I'm Alexandra Kolova, a third-year physics major from Bulgaria.
Greetings, I'm Shelby Chamblin, a first-year business administration scholar from Atlanta, Georgia.
Greetings, I'm Ione Sanford. I'm a first-year pre-nursing scholar from Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
Greetings, I am Sydney Humes, a first-year political science scholar hailing from Birmingham, Alabama.
Greetings, I'm Lana Thornton, first-year criminal justice major from Tallahassee, Florida.
Greetings, I am Emerald Jacobs, a fourth-year pre-physical therapy major from Houston, Texas.
Hi, I'm Lyndon Hatch. I'm a third-year biology major from Olympia Fields, Illinois.
Greetings, I am Isis Williams, a second-year occupational therapy student from Dallas, Texas.
Greetings, I am Brooke Hudson, a first-year political science grad scholar hailing from Houston, Texas.
Greetings, I am Jasmine Robinson, third-year health science major from Jacksonville, Florida.
Greetings, I am Dominique Turner, fourth-year health science major from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Scroggins. I am a graduate student majoring in sports management, and I am from Houston, Texas.
Hello, my name is Autumn Hamilton. I'm a senior studying social science, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
At this time, we would ask our newly life members if you will come forward, and we will be presenting you with your life membership plaques. And I'll read the first one. Mr. Charles Blaylock Jr. Are you here, Mr. Blaylock? Mr. Henry Broomfield? Right here. Congratulations. And this plaque reads, Florida A&M University Rattler Boosters Incorporated recognizes Henry Bloomfield as a life member, a distinction reserved for those whose outstanding generosity perpetuates financial security for the Rattler Boosters and the Florida A&M University Athletic Department in perpetuity. Life member since 2023. Mr. Bloomfield, congratulations. All right, thank you. Mr. Blaylock? Represent Mr. Blaylock is.
No, it's Mr. Blaylock.
No, she's.
Oh, sorry.
Representing.
I understand.
You walk to the side. All right. Okay, and you are?
I'm Carla.
Okay. Mr. Blaylock is represented by his daughter, Carla Blaylock. Carla Blaylock. For her father. Dante Ford. Mr. Anthony B. Hadley. Melody A. Hadley, the chairman of our membership committee. Cynthia Henry. Wilbur Johnson.
Sir?
James Frank Matthews. Frank. Vernay Randolph. Robert Taylor. Tanya Ware. Is Tanya here? Tanya Ware. Blasille Williams. Ricardo Scruggs, I'm sorry. Ricardo Scruggs. Good.
Hello, everyone. As you can see, I put my money where my mouth is, and what I want to tell you all is that we do a lot for FAMU athletics, and we want to do even more. But we need your assistance. We need your help. We need you to become members of the FAMU Boosters. We have a table here to my left, to most of your right, and where you can become a member of the Boosters. We have different levels. We have life membership, and as you can see, you get a plaque. We have subscribing life membership. We have a Venom membership where you get a gorgeous shirt. And we also have a regular membership. You can get more information at the table. Again, to my left is the membership table. And we thank you all for coming here today. But again, we do need your assistance to do the good things that we do for FAMU athletics. Oh, excuse me, sorry. I have to acknowledge people who have joined today. We have Gloria Spradley Brown, new life member. We have Angela Leon, new life member. Signed up today. You can do it too. We have Harold Brown, new life member. We have Helen Inman, new regular member. Thank you. And we have James and Joyce Morgan. They both signed up today. So you can do it too. Just head over to that table and join us. Thank you.
As president of this organization, of the board, I decided to do a personal privilege. I am going to present the first President's Award from the Rattler Boosters for outstanding service. And I'm going to ask Mr. Willie Bill Woods to come forward. While Bill is coming forward, I would just like to tell you that Bill does all of the DDRs. He does all of the fund transfer requests. He takes good care of the dollars that you give us. But also tell you that we have had 4 straight years of clean audits. So Bill, on behalf of the Rattler Booster Board, I want to present this to you, and it reads, President's Award for Outstanding Service, presented to Willie Bill Woods, August 27, 2023, FAMU Boosters Incorporated. Thanks, Bill, for all you do.
Surprise me.
Here's a box.
No for beach. Let's hear for all of our contributors and sponsors, our lifetime members and regular membership. Again, if we might talk as we said at the very beginning, we appreciate you buying this ticket, but we want your free will offerings and your memberships as well. So please make certain you see those lovely ladies at that table where the balloon is, and make sure you sign up to support our student athletes. Next, we'll now have the drawing for the silent auction winners by Dr. Ebony C. and Miss Sandy Lamar.
Good afternoon, Rattlers. As has previously been announced, we have the silent auction occurring in the back left-hand corner of the gym. Thus far, we've had one winner. That is Representative Curtis Richardson for this piece right here. So if you would, Representative Curtis Richardson, we will meet you in the back to get your check. Now, that being said, we still have items back there listed for sale. At this point, we do not want to take anything with us. We would like it to go with you all. Somebody needs something in the house to decorate or something. We need you to take it with you. After the event, the bids will start at $35. Everything back there is $35. If you pay for it, you can have it, but you got to pay for it. So, $35, everything goes to the Rattler Booster organization to support these athletes. Again, in the back left-hand corner, we will be getting rid of those items because they're leaving with somebody. Thank you.
I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of my dear friend, Judge Monique Richardson. Would you please stand? Where's Judge Richardson? Hey, Judge. There used to be a song. Here come the judge, here come the judge. Watch out, y'all, because here comes the judge. Let's hear for Judge Monique Richardson. And now we will hear from our great leader, head football coach, FAMU football team, Ladies and gentlemen, on your feet for Coach Willie Shotgun Simmons. Round of applause for him and the great student athletes that he coaches.
Good afternoon. Glad to see everyone here today. Colonel Joe decided to join me at the table since y'all decided to put me there by myself. And so Colonel Joe, appreciate you keeping me company. And he commented on how great the crowd looks. So give yourselves a round of applause for showing up today for our student athletes. Want to obviously first give a huge shout out to our illustrious leader, President Dr. Larry Robinson, and his lovely wife, Ms. Sharon. He's my big boss, to my immediate boss, Vice President and Director of Athletics, Tiffany Dawn Sykes, to President Cobb and the Rattler Boosters, to Eddie Jackson and the 220 Quarterback Club, Curtis Taylor and the Rattler F Club, Dr. Friday Shroud and the Family Foundation, all of our affinity groups. We appreciate you all so much for what you do for our student athletes. Obviously, there is no Willie Simmons, no Coach McCullum, no Coach Pressure without students. So we thank you all for pointing to these young men and women and allowing them a chance to realize their dreams on the highest of 7 hills. I want to thank Rattler Nation, obviously, for welcoming us with open arms. It's been a great experience. Believe it or not, this is going into my 6th season here at FAMU, so it seems like just yesterday. So one, thank you, Dr. Robinson, for keeping me. But it seems like just yesterday I was walking through those very doors at my introductory press conference. And so it's been 6 years, and a real year, it's been about 30 in FAMU years, but no, it's been a great ride so far, and I look forward to many more. I want to thank all of our student athletes, men and women. These young men and young ladies represent this institution in a first-class manner every chance they get, on the football field, on the basketball courts, on the baseball diamond, on the track, everywhere. We represent orange and green well, and I'm just thankful for them. To all the coaches who pour into these young people, who give up our times at home to make sure that we're giving them the best opportunities to be successful. I want to thank my fellow colleagues, to all of the support staff, the unsung heroes, the strength conditioning coach, the head athletic trainer, the video coordinator, the equipment manager, everyone who never really gets their name called, but again, have a pivotal role in the success of our sports. I want to thank them personally, and to our student workers, oftentimes working for free as volunteers to serve in those capacities, again, to allow our student athletes the best chances. So I want to thank all of them. Obviously, I want to give a huge shout out to anyone here from the best county of the 67 counties in the state of Florida. So if you're a Gadsden County native, stand up and be recognized real quick. There you go, one over there. I see some right here. I know I got some over this side. That's right. And obviously, in her absence, my wife, Shea, she's at home with the kids. They started school last week, so they have that first week of school sniffles going on. So I told them to stay home, and I'll be sleeping on the couch for the next few days just to make sure that I'm able to make it down to Miami Gardens. Again, just a couple of quick highlights to touch on. First and foremost, as we talked about earlier, we can't start without congratulating Ken Riley, the legendary Ken Riley, and his induction into the National Football Hall of Fame. He's not the only Rattler that was honored this year. We also have Greg Coleman, who was honored in the Florida Sports Hall of Fame this year. And then we have Henry Keller Lawrence and Tyrone McGriff Sr., who were inducted into the Black College Football Hall of Fame this summer. And of course, we have 3 young men currently, Marquise Bell, Isaiah Land, and Xavier Smith, currently on NFL rosters. And so we're really excited about those guys and their journeys. I think all the guys have got a couple more being fed. Cardell is last, so I guess you're going to take everything that's left. There's big Cardell Thomas, our LSU transfer there, bringing it in from the rear. So I was gonna let them sit first, but of all the highlights, the thing I'm most proud of, and I'm gonna see if they can. I know some of them probably have chicken tenders in their mouth, but will our 22 graduate students please stand to be recognized? We have 22 players this year who will be playing this season as graduate students. So that's a fifth of our team. So for every 5 players you see, one of them will have a nice graduate patch under their SWAC logo. So we're very, very excited about that. And again, that's a testament to the job the academic support staff does. Ms. Carrie Hickey and her team, the academic compliance staff, and everyone in that administration. We also have 10 preseason all-conference performers. Quarterback Jeremy Musa was also voted as SWAC preseason Offensive Player of the Year. Kendall Bowler, cornerback Kendall Bowler, safety Jabin Morgan, and wide receiver Marcus Riley were all selected to the recent Senior Bowl watch list. The Senior Bowl is the largest all-star game for draft-eligible seniors. We have 3 young men on that list. And then Trey Wilhoit, one of our newest additions to the team, is a preseason first-team All-American punter. So again, definitely excited about those young men. Obviously, we start our season a week from today, and so we'll probably be somewhere in the second quarter in 7 days down in Miami Gardens against Jackson State. And so again, hope everyone can make it. For those of you who can't, the game is nationally televised on ESPN. Kickoff is at 3:05. So again, kickoff at 3:05 and the 3:05. I never even put that together, so that's pretty neat. But again, very excited to head down to Miami Gardens for the Orange Blossom Classic. And then obviously we have 4 home games this year, with the first one being September 16th against the University of West Florida. So look forward to seeing everyone here as we attempt to extend the nation's second longest home winning streak of 15 games to hopefully take over the University of Montana State, who has the nation's longest streak, with second. So we need everyone there to support these young men along with the Marching 100 as we try to lead the nation. So real quick, I will get out of your hair because we actually have a team meeting that we have to get to as we prepare this week. But why is it so important to become a booster? There are some basic needs that these student athletes must have in order to be successful, that contrary to popular belief, our amazing president can't provide. The university cannot support athletics as far as finances. Okay, so that's a common misconception, is that we could just run to Dr. Robinson and say, hey, Dr. Robinson, we need some new uniforms. He can pull out of his personal account, but he can't take it from the university budget. And so how do we support our student athletes? Well, it's through joining the Booster Club. And so here's some of the things that we as coaches and student athletes need to in order to be successful and be the #1 athletic program in the SWAC. Scholarships. Most of our student athletes are on some form of aid. And so most of our sports are fully funded, but there's some that are not. And for those that are, that doesn't include summer school. And so for our student athletes to continue to have the opportunities to graduate on time, to train, to get prepared for their coming seasons, summer school is a critical need for our students. Football season, volleyball, cross country, we're right out of the gate. And so in order for us to be prepared to play, we need all of our student athletes here for summer school. And so that's a huge need. That's a yearly item that we all have. So anyone who wants to know what our biggest need is summer school. The next biggest one is nutrition. We talked about it. Colonel Joe talked about it earlier, and I'm so thankful for the 220 Quarterback Club and the Booster Club. My first year here in 2018, we started the season, had a great run, but we lost our last 3 games. And one of our best players, lose his name, Elijah Richardson, our starting linebacker, lost 20 pounds during the football season. And so by the time we got to the Florida Classic, he had ACL surgery the year before, and so they get custom fit knee braces. So all of our offensive linemen, anyone who's had a major injury, have custom fit knee braces. Well, by the Florida Classic, his knee brace was falling off of his leg. It didn't fit anymore because he had lost so much weight. And so went to Eddie Jackson, told him that we needed nutrition, and with the help, obviously, of Mr. Roy Moore and his lovely wife, we were able to start that initiative, and that's been ongoing ever since. And like Colonel Joe said, the wins have followed the nutrition. And so this is not just a football need. This is a need for all of our student athletes. They all need to be nourished. They're practicing as early as 6 a.m., and oftentimes they're in study hall until 8 p.m. And so the cafeteria doesn't stay open 24 hours a day. And so once they leave study table or some sports practice late, the calf may be closed. And so if they don't have the proper nutrition to be able to supplement themselves, to be able to do the things they need to not only perform on the field, but imagine being up at 5 a.m. for a 6 a.m. practice and not being able to eat breakfast and having to go sit in class at the #1 public institution in America next to a student whose average GPA is a 3.97 and trying to keep up. And so nutrition is very important for our young people to be as fresh as they need to be in the classroom. So that's why your help is important. Facility upgrades. Obviously, we all look up and see that beautiful video board here in Bragg Stadium. We have a brand new video board that's going to make the game day experience better for you all. But facilities is a huge, huge need for us as coaches as we attempt to recruit the best and the brightest. We live in an age where young people want to see nice things. And so we want to be able to bring them to campus and show them that we have the facilities in order to help them accomplish their ultimate goals. And then the last thing that I would say we need is we're battling the new rules of collegiate athletics. There are things now that weren't in existence 20 years ago when I came out of high school or before, such as cost of attendance. What cost of attendance means is that schools now, athletic departments now can actually pay a student athlete. This isn't NIL. A lot of people know about NIL, but cost of attendance says that we could actually pay the difference of what a full scholarship, tuition, room and board, course-related books and fees. The difference between that and the actual cost of attendance is about $5,000. So athletic departments can now pay that amount to every student athlete if they have it in the budget. Right now, we currently don't have that in our budget. And so when we're recruiting against even some schools within our own conference that have cost of attendance or give it in some capacity, it makes it more difficult for us to win that recruiting battle. And so that's why we're here today, obviously to support our student athletes, to support the coaches, and they need it. We have phenomenal coaches. We have phenomenal leadership. We have an amazing product to sell. You see this nice logo behind us. We're the only LeBron James school in America. And so it makes it easy to go out and attract them, but we have to seal the deal. And with your help, we'll do that. So look forward to seeing everyone this weekend if you can make it, but definitely look forward to seeing everyone pack out Bragg Memorial Stadium this year as we continue our win streak. And we have some unfinished business down in Miami Gardens. We got a chance to scout them a little bit yesterday. After my guys finish stuffing their faces, we'll go and start our official preparation. And we'll be on the field tonight at 7 p.m. For our first practice for the Orange Blossom Classic. So thank you all so much for your support. Love you all. And as always, go Rattlers.
Let's hear it for Coach Simmons again. Although we've already heard from Coach Ellenwood, but this time he comes to bring a special greeting as he introduces his cross-country team, Coach Ellenwood and the fantastic young people of the cross-country team.
Good afternoon. As I said earlier, we took the time out to try and build one of the best cross-country teams that FAMU has had with the swag it's going to see. I have to give thanks to Coach Kenshin. This is really her work. I was more of the background person. First off, we have Lacey DeBosky. She's a returning athlete. Ava Carson, a returning athlete. Jordan Garnett, she's a transfer from Prairie View A&M. one of our homegrown, one of the best in the state, Nia Coleman from Florida High. Sierra Guerrero, another top cross-country runner in the state of Florida, Jacksonville, Florida. Jill Simmons, she's a freshman. Where you from, sorry? Georgia. She just came in and walked on from Georgia. Alicia Douglas from Jamaica. She's a transfer from the University of Albany. Madison Gordon, Atlanta, Georgia. She's a returning. Serenity Williams, upperclassman, returning from. She's a military kid, so she always said I'm from everywhere. And our head cross country coach, Tamika Kitchen. Of these young ladies, we have 4 returners, 5 newcomers, and out of these 5 newcomers, they're already times coming in are the top 5 in the SWAC, and this is before Coach K, as she says, gives them their dose of vitamin K. So we're looking forward to an outstanding season. Remember, October 23rd, the championships will be at Appalachian Park, and we would love for your support. We can't do this without you. I'd like to echo what Coach Simmons said about the support from the Booster Club as well as the 220 Quarterback Club. They really got behind us. I got hired January 3rd, and they invited us over. They treated us like family, and they've really been behind us. It's Tommy Mitchell. Tommy Mitchell Sr., he made sure that when we went to track meets, every single Rattler booster out there came out and supported, provided us with things that we didn't have, and we are truly grateful and appreciative. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Dr. Robinson, A.D. Sykes, A.D. Smith. They supported me. They've been giving us everything we need, and Lord willing, we'll be able to give you the championships that you want. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Bless you. Let's hear it for our coach of the cross-country team. And let's give a final round of applause for our football players as they leave the facility to head to practice to prepare for their competition against Jackson State. Now we have some more prizes to give, and then we will hear from our great leader, President, Florida A&M University. But we got some giveaways we want to give before y'all leave and before y'all go and sign up at the table for your life memberships. And if you win one of the giveaways, you automatically got to sign up for a life membership. So if I call your number and you're not ready for the life membership, just drop your head and we'll call another number. The old folks said fair exchange ain't never been robbery. Even swap, no swindle. Our next Rattler Lifetime member, Rattler Booster Lifetime member, is number 278. Number 278. We got a winner? Come on. Let's hear it for our new Lifetime Rattler Booster. Come on down. Our next Rattler Booster Lifetime member is number 437. Number 437. Come on, Slick. Everybody, that's Mr. Robinson, y'all. The head usher at Bethlehem East Church. March on down here, sir. There you go. And our next Lifetime Rattler Booster. Give him a round of applause. Our next Rattler Lifetime Booster is number 158. Number 158. Come on down. Did y'all hear that Bob Barker died? Bless his heart. 99 years old. Come on down. Number 158. Our new Lifetime Rattler Booster. Let's hear it for Joe Johnson. Our next Lifetime Rattler Booster, number 624. Number 624. There we go. Yeah. Another Lifetime Rattler Booster. Next, number 433. Yay! No problem. Let's hear for her as she comes forward. Thank you so much for your support. Let's hear from Miss Emma Wade, y'all. The one and only. Is this our final? This our final one? Oh, okay. Is that a 3X? Is that a 3X? We might not. Okay. Number 627. 627. Ed Scott. Let's hear for Dr. Ed Scott. Dr. Scott, did they make that orange blazer in my size? Did they make that blazer in my size? Let's hear for Dr. Ed Scott. Congratulations. And the drum roll for our grand prize, that 55-inch television screen or monitor, when it's that big, goes to number 432. Two people can't come from the same table. Let's hear. That's right, classmate. Let's hear from Ms. White. And our grand prize. Let's hear it for all of our winners. Before we hear from our president, will our president provide closing remarks? After we hear from President Cobb, I want to announce that everything that is remaining on our silent auction is for $35, correct? So please check with our folks at the silent auction in the back. I also want to acknowledge Kenny Tees for their support and their presence here with official FAMU paraphernalia, whereby because it has the official seal, the university gets its rightful compensation. And let's hear it for vendors who do it the official and right way. Now, as we come to the end, I'm reminded of famous words as we think about what is our continued giving and support of our Rattler Boosters, our 220 Quarterback Club, and all the auxiliaries that support our student athletes. We were reminded, I want to give you a history lesson since they want to tell us what we can teach in our schools. Let me tell you this, a great man, George Washington Carver, admonished folks following Reconstruction in the beginning of the 20th century that if they were going to achieve greatness, they had to do common things uncommonly well. All of us support our university. We buy tickets, we attend the games, we come to events like this. But if we want to be champions in the home of champions, we've got to do a common thing uncommonly well. And that response is found in the way we give to our alma mater, our stewardship. I tell the folks at the school board all the time, if you want to know our values, all you need do is look at our checkbook. The same is no less true for those of us who wear the orange and green to our jobs and in our community, have the Rattler tag on the back of our car. But we must do that common thing uncommonly well, that we remain the home of champions. You may applaud. And so the next voice you'll hear will be our booster president, Mr. Selvin Cobb.
Let's give it up for our host, our master of ceremony, Mr. Darrell Jones. Darrell, thank you. You did a great job here this evening. And I would just like to thank you all, because without you, this would not have been a successful event. You're part of history, because since the Lawson Building has been built, they never had this many tables on the floor here, nor they ever had this many people sitting down eating. So you're a part of history. You also got an opportunity. I've got to get out of the school board, because we don't have school boards on our campus anymore. We have video boards. So take a look at that new video board that's up there. That's going to be great. Coaches, basketball coaches, we're going to look forward to coming in and watching the highlights and watching the scores run up and on the screen as we get the replays. So we want to thank you all for coming out this evening. One piece of housekeeping rule that we have: on your table there are centerpieces. Now those centerpieces aren't free. We ask you to leave a $10 donation for that centerpiece, and then you take it home with you. Okay? All right. Again, thank you all for coming. And Darrell, at this time, will you bring our president up? Yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. And now, as is our Rattler tradition, please rise and greet our president, President Larry Robinson.
great. So thank you today for emceeing today's program. I do want to acknowledge a couple of people who we missed out on earlier. First is my wife, Sharon, of 38 years. Thank you, Sharon, for joining me. And also Mr. Keith Miles and his world-class team, the Director of Communications at Florida A&M University, Andrew Scarrett, who's there with them, along with the mayor. You know, the mayor, now the mayor is not here, but the mayor is right here, a former student of mine in the School of the Environment, when it was Environmental Sciences Institute, took one of my classes and said, nope, I'm getting out of here, going to SBI. But anyway, thank you, sir, for joining us on the team as well. I'll be brief. I know you heard that before, but I will say this, just to reiterate Daryl's comment about supporting Florida A&M University. You all know we had a spectacular year, unprecedented amount of money raised, and we see some of our outstanding foundation team here with us today. We raised $25.7 million, and you all contributed to that. But I said on this same, in fact, I coined it here at this same event a few years back, and I said, you don't give until it hurts, right? Give until you go numb, right? Where you can't feel it anymore. You've given so much money, when you get home, your spouse will say, what in the bleepity bleep did you do, right? That's what I need y'all to do to support this great institution. You know, also when I was sitting over there, you know, I get all kinds of ideas. None of them are very good, but one that I was thinking about, where's Joe Moore? They're still here, right? Piggly Wiggly and, oh no, the McDonald's people have left, so they missed out on this great opportunity, right? Now, you know you can go to Piggly Wiggly and get just about everything, right? Hog head salad, smoked pickle for pig feet, hog maw and everything. I was thinking about a specialty that we could have a partnership with Piggly Wiggly and McDonald's on, right? And that would be breakfast pork belly sandwiches, right? Can y'all imagine? You'll be a millionaire more. You have an infinite supply and they got all the biscuits, right? We could make this thing work. And all the proceeds go to the Rattlers, right? Come on, y'all. Y'all see it, right? Don't y'all see it? Pork belly biscuits, y'all heard it here first. If y'all ever see one, remember you heard it here first, right? Anyway, I want to thank you all for coming out this evening. It's been a wonderful day. I'm just as proud as you are of this institution, if not more. I wasn't smart enough to get into FAMU, but I thank all of you who make me feel like I was born and raised on this campus. Of course, I've been here 26 years. It kind of feels like it anyway. But thank you so much for your kindness and your support of this institution. Our athletics programs are a vital part of the FAMU story, and without your support, it wouldn't function as well as it does. And so all I can ask you is to do just a little bit more to help this institution, to help these student athletes perform at their best. Don't go to the game and complain about who missed a play or who missed a pass. Come to the game with the idea of what you're going to do to make sure they do better the next time out. And certainly you're going to show up for these home games we're going to have this year, and I hope to see a lot of you next week about the same time in Miami Gardens. So, and with that, let me just end this the way I typically do. All the Rattlers in the house, you'll be excited about this. The one or two people who went to Bethune probably get a little nervous. When the dark clouds gather on the horizon, when thunder and lightning fill the sky, when fate is but a glint in the eye of a falling rattler, and hope's a lost friend. When the sinew of the chest grows weary, those hard-charging linebackers, and the muscles in the legs grow tired, those hard-charging running backs, you must always remember that the Rattlers will strike and strike and strike again. Let's go, FAMU.
On your feet as we sing our alma mater as we adjourn. Thank you, Ms. C. And everyone on the committee. Thank you, Vaughn Wilson. Do we cue it or do I cue it? Remain standing. Knowledge of love and charity, we gather round thy noble shrine. We lift our voice in praise to thee and ask a blessing all divine. FAMU, FAMU, I love thee. I'll fight and win whate'er the battle be. The orange and the green thy son shall e'er defend, and loyal to thy voice of love attend. FAMU, 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 I love thee. Good night.
Great job, man. Yes. No, no. I'm gonna